This video, I'll explain how you can deploy a static website that you have created using Hugo to any Debian-based server. So you have to go to this link. This is my simple project, which helps you deploy, and the steps are really easy. I'll put the link to this tool in the description of this video. So the first step is that you create a cloud instance. Uh, it can be anywhere, DigitalOcean, AWS, anywhere. But create it of type Debian. It can be Debian, it can be Ubuntu, any Debian based. So once you have created, here you can see I've created one on DigitalOcean. Then you have to make sure that you have created SSH key, which you can find in root directories.ssh. So I have already created one, but you can easily create one if you don't have using this SSH dash keygen with customized parameters. But if you don't provide any, that is just as fine. Using this, if you hit enter, it will create the public and private key. You'll need to copy the public key. Once you have copied the public key, just add it to your GitHub account, which you can find here. It's very simple. We often do it for almost for many things. Go to settings, and since you have copied the SSH key to your clipboard, you have it there. Add it to your SSH key. Once this is done, and this is the first step. This is done so that you can easily pull your changes from your repository, because that is how you manage your project. It's a good way to manage the project actually. So once you have done that, what you need to do is clone that repository to your local system from which you deploy your main machine. I've cloned it here. This is where I have cloned this repository. You cd into this repository. This is the third step, and now you can further see it here as well. First of all, you have created the SSH key. Second, you have added the SSH key of the server, in this case droplet, to your GitHub account. The third step is that you install Ansible on your machine. This is very simple. You'll find many tutorials doing that. So just install it on your system. It is available on almost all the platforms. Then you get into this repository. Now, there are three executables available for all major platforms. One is for Linux, one is for Mac, one is for Windows. I'm on Mac system, so I'll use the Mac. And how I do that, it is also shown in step 5. What you need to do is that conf, and then since it is Mac, I'll type capital M tab. This is for Mac. Then I provide the IP. This is the IP of the server on which you want to deploy. In this case, it is this IP. I'll just put it here. This is the IP. And now the repository from which you want to, in which you have all your changes. This is your project. In this case, this is my project. This is my website. Available here. It is open source. You can have a look at it. So I'll just copy the link, paste it here. And now your configuration is done. There is no error. Your configuration is done. All cool. Now, just the final step, which you can see is just as simple as just hit deploy.sh. But make sure that the port 80 of your server is open, because via that port it will be serving requests. So make sure that incoming request on port 80 is open. And additionally, you can have a domain name and map it to your server. In my case, I have mapped it. I have bought a domain name from GoDaddy called sovikalla.info, and I've mapped it to this server. This is very simple. You can have a look at tutorials anywhere. And whenever you make changes, you push your changes to your repository, just run this script and your changes will be live. So here you can see what the script is doing. The first of all, checking the server is fine, then it's creating a static site named directory on the server. Then it is copying a service file that I've written to the server. This service file actually changes the web server to a system daemon so that it keeps on running and you can easily monitor it using general control, system control, etc. Then it pulls the website content from GitHub. I've shown you in my case, this is that's how I've done for this one. Then it downloads the Hugo source code from its main repository. Then it installs Hugo. Then it runs the Hugo server, and it is all done. So my IP was this one. You can see that it is running here on port 80. But since I told that I have already mapped it to my solvikala.info domain, so you can see it is also running here. So it is as simple as that. Just use it. If you face any issues in using this tool, create issue pull request on this repository. One fun fact, writing this simple project helped me crack a hackathon in association with DigitalOcean. Good to know. So just let me know if you find it helpful. Thank you.